So anyway, let's, just for fun, why don't we actually switch to, so this is a sewing project thing.
So she didn't give I cut out some squares of them. You didn't give that time or money. Is that free?
Well, I just put it in as an auto, so it just put in the time that I entered it, but it didn't track the time.
Oh, okay.
But I charged her already on my original time. I said that I would charge her for an hour and a half, and this one only was like $125. No, so that's a great thing. Because of the pilot button that I picked, it just pulled in the time, and it didn't
You have
ask me for an
multiple
end
choices.
date. So
Is it unknown? Is it known? Is it matching the current date and time? Do you want to just add some values to it? Like it helps you kind of flip-flop the thing around and such. So just for fun, Shannon, why don't we go ahead and go back to the Elements of Time homepage for just a minute. And let's go check out our master time templates. You have to have the admin permission to set up these cookie cutters. Let's create a super, super ultra generic one, okay? Just kind of a reminder system, okay? So we'll say add a new template. Why don't we call it reminders? Okay. Now, do we need a time on this or just a date? You literally
start date.
Yeah, just a start date probably. Okay, hey, I just want this to hit this block of time. I'm not worried about it hitting the block of time and going to 10 a.m. Just the block of time. So here's some of your different options you have. Shannon, can you just kind of read down through some of those different pieces?
So we have a start date. We don't need a start time.
Why don't you move your mouse up there so we can kind of see where you're at?
So end date, end time. We don't need to report that specifically for us. It's just a reminder. So a target date, a target time, potentially, depending on what you were trying to do.
Now, if you don't put an end date of the same date, will it continually remind you, or will it just remind you for that day and that's it?
It will just go in at the time that you put it in for. If you did a span, then it would span across, but it won't just continue indefinitely. It will just go in at the time that you put it into the calendar.
It's kind of waiting for the other piece of the puzzle. Like, okay, what else is shaking?
So it will just fall on the calendar wherever you put the start date at. It will show up on that day. Use a priority field. I don't actually even know what that means.
So priority field basically, is it 1 to 100, 1, 10, 5? Like if you have a priority on like, say you're doing a to-do list type thing or something, you basically can kind of say, hey, this is a priority of 10. You know, like I got to get this. And then you can actually search, go show me everything that I have from priority between 8 and 10. And then all of a sudden you're just looking at that smaller version versus everything in the world. Okay.
So use a finish done switch. I think that could be helpful for our reminders, like a to-do. Use that one. I've never seen that one. Use invoice quote settings. So if you want to bill it, we aren't going to be billing for our reminders.
This particular one, we're not worried about billing.
But for our sewing projects, we were definitely billing for those, so we had that.
Okay.
Use a general amount. This is just a reminder, so we don't need that. But you can put that field in so that you could give.
It helps with invoicing. The general amount and the total time, those are great pieces that can actually help with your invoicing if you're going to actually be invoicing. To know what's going on.
So use total time. This is the one where you can set a block of time or start here, end here, final value. Single user assignment, you can assign it to a user or a salesperson or employee.
Can we do that?
Sure.
Yeah,
just click it.
definitely. You could assign a reminder to someone specifically. And then a customer assignment, that would be, we used that in the last one as well, assigning things to customers. We won't need that here. Or a vendor or payee assignment, if you wanted to assign it to one of your vendors. Use a location. So if it was maybe a reminder for a specific location. We only have one in this corporation, but maybe if you were somewhere else, that would be really helpful. In this location, this reminder needs to be assigned.
Yeah.
So that could be really helpful. And then budget settings.
This is kind of like, what's your estimation, what was your final, and what is kind of it categorized? Is it hours, dollars, packages, like just kind of even thinking production-wise type stuff. Like if you were like, okay, we're going to do a run of X, Y, Z, and I'm hoping to get 500 of them built, that's my estimated. And then when I'm all done, I could actually circle back around and say, oh, we actually only got 350. So
could you also do like a bar grid system off of this schedule?
You're talking like a
schedule. Like you'd have some time a bar grid showing that okay, concrete work from this date to this date, and it bar grades every simple, every degree of construction work, over-Xing, concrete work, plumbing, electrical, and could you bar grade it?
Okay, you
Or
could
is it
statistically,
just a calendar where it could list it on the calendar of when it's supposed to start, when it's supposed to end, and each.
correct, and it depends on where you put it at, okay? So what we do is the main date, that top one, that scroll up to the top of that template. The main start date is the main one that shows up on the calendar. You can actually have the other dates, any of the other dates show up on the calendar as well, including the sub dates, but you have to have another little filter turned on when you actually look at your calendar. You're like, hey, I want to see other the subs, because otherwise you have all these dates all over the place, and it gets a little confusing. So the main calendar date is the start date, okay? But that shows up by default. If you want the other guys, there's a show hide option in your search criteria. It says, do you want to see the subs, or basically all the other dates as well? If you say yes, instead of it mixing into there, it'll show you all your main start dates, and then it shows a little list of anything else that hit according to that, including your subs or whatever. So that would be very handy for construction type stuff.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, we'll pick a color really quick. Maybe let's go orange. That's a flashy color for a reminder. And we'll use hours and minutes. And we'll come down here to just set up the rest of our template.
Okay, so just so you know, the top part is kind of these are my generic main pieces of the master template. Then when we get down below here, these sub add-ons, this is functionality. Do I want an action status log, which is in, out, stop, do? Do I want sub dates and times? Do I want sub comments? Do I want GPS tracking? Do I want, et cetera, et cetera? Like, what do you want to bolt onto this thing as far as sub pieces of the puzzle? For the reminder system, I would even say the status action log, I wouldn't even add that. I would say, nope, you're out of there. No sub dates and times, no sub comments. Some of these other pieces are actually still under construction. No sub sign-offs, no sub tracking of this or that. Here's some of your payroll options, your reminder systems, and then etc.
So we want to add anything else?
Nope, just like that. Yep.
Okay,
Like that.
so pretty simple template that we have for our reminders. So if you go add a reminder,
Yeah.
let's see what we made. What's our reminder?
So your reminder is that
Pick up
tomorrow,
more fruit for the class.
tomorrow pick up some more fruit. It could literally be that easy, okay? Hey guys, how was the video session?
Good.
Awesome.
The video take me and I can cut.
Oh, good, good. David was the customer, huh? How
They
funny.
videotaped
All the way through.
credit card several times. We're hoping he doesn't get charged more of this.
Okay, how funny.
24,000 invoices and 4,000 POs in 2 years.
How many invoices?
124. It was 123.9 something.
1,000?
124,000 invoices.
Wow.
They just went and videotaped a liquor store that was using Adilas.
Okay.
John,
So,
the guy's name is John Cannon, and he has this Irish accent, so it's really fun. It's kind of fun. He's just in Highlands Vineyard,
yeah, he's
in
great.
Highlands Ranch.
Okay, so that was really easy. That was nice. So, and we aren't done with it yet, so I just left it open. But we'll just add that element of time. So it's added. We can go check it on our monthly calendar. We can check it on our
So
daily
you
time
push
slot.
that date forward. Oh, you did it for today's date? No problem.
Do you want me to push it forward?
Let's
You
actually
can edit it.
click edit main and just push it forward a date.
Okay.
So we need to kind of make sure that this, actually it wouldn't matter, but just so you know, you can go back and edit it if you need to. Piece of cake.
So we'll check it out on our monthly now.
So we should have an orange one. Hey, pick up more fruit. Okay. Like, it's pretty easy to keep adding these. Why don't you, just for fun, why don't you click on the 25th, click on the time slot right there, just for fun, and just click on any of the things, because we don't actually get a physical time on the reminder, but why don't you just click for fun. And just say, hey, this is a reminder.
Oh, oops. Yeah, and the point is to film someone in Salida then.
Correct. And it could be that easy. Like, you literally don't even have to do anything. Like,
Yeah.
we're kind of going fast, but you can make it private, admin only. What it does is it depends on who gets to see this and like who gets access to it, et cetera, et cetera. But like, you can start adding things to your calendar as quick as you want. If you have multiple items, it automatically creates its own little scroll bar. Okay. So Shannon, just click on 25 again. You could do it this way. This is great if you're actually setting a specific date and time, you can actually put it into your system to do it. But otherwise, you can actually just say, hey, I just need to add a new one.
You gave it a time, didn't you?
I did. I
Okay,
thought-
so the
Okay,
reason
so
is guess what? Your template did not
doesn't need a
say.
start time. We told it we didn't care.
So just for fun, let's create another one that says timed reminders, just for fun. So that's just like a general, hey, I'm going to hit the calendar on this date, okay? Just call this one a time reminder, and we're going to go start date, end time, click those first 4. Now scroll on down, go ahead and say the done status if you wanted that, so if it was
Yes.
similar. And you said single user assignment as well. Okay, come on down just a little bit and say nope, nope. Come on down and say add that template. So literally you can create as many as you want to, okay? So watch this. If she says a timed reminder, so instead of just doing it from here, why don't you find the date that you wanted to do it, click on the time. Now watch this. Because we can accept time, boom. She'll click here to say, hey, this is a timed reminder. Go ahead. See how it physically brought in 2 o'clock because that's where she clicked on it? Like it literally will allow her to do that. Come down. We don't know how long it's going to take, but if you did, you could actually create the span. Why don't you put it to 4 o'clock just for fun? Okay? What you can see, like you just say, which pieces do I need? And you just create a new little cookie cutter for what your pieces are.
At 4.
Right.
Oh, and
So
then
there's lots of different ways you could do it. You could say, hey,
yeah.
add 2 hours to the beginning time, or you could say, no, I
Or
physically want to be done at
4
4:30, you know, or whatever you wanted to do. Okay, 4 p.m. Go get it.
We can check it out in our daily time slot for that day.
So scroll back up to the top for a second. So that's general, like it has no time associated with it. Okay, but if you scroll down a little bit, we did associate a physical block of time for that one. So it kind of like it kind of spans that time a little bit right there for us.
We can show it on the month. You wanted to, excuse me, to show the scroll bar. So as soon as it
Yeah.
gets bigger, you have your own little scroll bar that will go on the day if you have more
Right.
than one. I wanted to
Like you can tweak this thing out to crazy levels. Like if
I could make it bigger too.
you could, so watch this. She'll go down here to the calendar view, scroll up just a little bit. Right there, your calendar block size.
Oh,
It's
okay.
currently on medium. Like you can make it as big as you want. Like you can kind of just tweak your calendar out. So all of a sudden it's like, okay, show me some big old blocks. Like depending on what you want, you can kind of play with your calendar. Tons. You can change your date ranges. You can change, hey, I just want to see a single date. I want to see a month. I want to see 3 months at a time. Like whatever you want it to do, you can
We want
technically
to
do it.
see all of our time.
Okay, so she just limited, she said, hey, I only want to see my timed reminders. Okay, so like you can, basically it's a calendar, but it's very flexible as far as what you can do with it, some of the different pieces.
Okay, great. Sorry, did you want to continue on somewhere else? You just kept calling it time, so I just changed the name.
You're great, you're great. So she actually went and physically changed the template name. So now it'll automatically cascade out into any of the different pieces. It used to say time reminder instead of timed reminders. So she just changed it in one spot, and it technically cascades itself out to that particular piece of the puzzle there. So good stuff.
Great. Did you want to come back up and take
I would
it
like to
away,
know
or-
what you guys' questions are or anything like, or what would you like to see in Elements of Time? We purposely basically said this is not going to be a Google Calendar or like an Outlook Express calendar. This is going to be a business-oriented one. You can connect it to whatever else you need to, et cetera, et cetera. Just for fun, Shannon, why don't you go to the class that starts in September? So go up to the top and hit reset this page. It's a middle link right below your mouse, right there. So go ahead and go into that class. You're making pajama class pants. Now watch this one. We actually added FlexGrid and tied it to sub-invoices and said whether or not they had paid or not. Okay? So let's pretend that it's still available to do this class. Why don't you go create a new invoice and let's FlexGrid tie it in and say that the person is not paid, just for fun.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
I know that this is back in the past, but I wanted to show you everything that you saw under FlexGrid, you can actually do under Elements of Time as well because it's one of the main 12.
We'll make a new cart for Abrianne, and Do we have that in there as an item? I'm not really sure.
I can't remember what all the items are. Why don't we just go ahead and,
Remember
why don't you go class? Just for fun to see if it has anything, if we created anything like that. Oh, we must have just put it under labor or
Go
other.
check the other
or something.
invoices.
You can.
I just checked that.
Can. Oh, looks like we put it under other and then,
The damn events other class.
okay, cool.
All right, that's why we're having a difficult time finding it. Okay, let's try that again. I know Brienne's not added to the
Okay,
class
she
yet.
actually, you already have a cart open,
Oh, thank you. I
but that's okay.
didn't
If you click assign the cart, it'll basically like,
start a new one.
yeah,
Just,
it'll, because nothing's really in there, I don't think anything would happen.
okay, perfect. So we added an item. We called it other, and it was for $75. Sewing class. All right, add that to the cart. Then we checked out, right?
Let's say that she just called and said, hey, put me down for that class. And you're like, okay, cool, I'll put you down.
Put her on account.
Yep, we'll put her on our account.
This was miscellaneous. So we'll update our cart because I don't think we charged any tax this season. So we'll go ahead and check out. She just wanted to be on the class. Since she just called in, it's going to go on account. She hasn't paid for it yet. We'll create the invoice. That's how it's like that. Okay, perfect. But I'm going to go back in here because I know we have her as the class, so I want to add a piece of new FlexGrid tie-in so that I can add her as a seat to that class.
Okay, so hang on just one second. You're currently on the invoice 13. What you really wanted to do was you wanted to kind of go to the class and add
her there.
add her there.
So I need
and
to go to
say,
element of time.
correct.
I don't know what element of time it is. Making pajama pants. It's 3. So
So you can go into edit or printable or whatever. So right here, we would basically say add a new FlexGrid tie-in. We would come down and we would put in her new invoice number.
payment.
And scroll up just slightly. It's way up, right up towards the top right there.
Invoice number right there was 13, I believe, but we can check it.
I can't remember what it was. Do you guys remember what it was?
I don't remember.
I think it was 13.
So she's just using her quick thing. Oh, it was.
So
So she could just use her back button and kind of be right back to where she was. Okay. So she's in here. She just scratches that out. It was 13. Scrolls down. She says need payment. And today's date is this. Whatever she wanted to do.
okay, the time.
So technically we have 4 slots that are filled in our time. But what it is it's technically kind of linking it clear to the invoice that's tied to that person. That's how, basically it's just kind of a funny little example. But that's a combination of elements of time and FlexGrid. They're kind of all mixed together. So awesome.
Yeah.